Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another Photoshop tutorial. My name is WISHAH and today we are going to be creating this image. Now if you want to follow along, I'll leave the links to the images that I'm using in the description. Also, if you find this video helpful and if you want me to make more videos, please press the like button. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, press the bell icon so that you get immediately notified whenever I upload a tutorial. Do check out my other videos too. With this said, let's jump into Photoshop. Alright, um, go to create new, write something here. I'm gonna be using the same settings that I always use. So, okay, I'm gonna insert the hand image and enlarge it. I'm gonna be adjusting it so that the subject can be centered. I'm gonna insert the subject now. The subject is going to be the turtle. And I'm gonna be selecting it with not the pen tool. Pen tool is going to be it's going to be difficult with the pen tool, so I'm gonna select the subject with the quick selection tool. Now the quick selection tool is a really powerful tool that can be used to select a subject really quickly. You can see I'm adding the unselected part by pressing the shift button, and I'm removing the parts that I don't need by pressing the alt key. I'm checking if I have left out any parts that needs to be added. Just try to refine it as much as possible. Again, I'm adding parts to the selection by pressing shift key, and I'm subtracting the parts that are not needed by pressing the alt key. Now when you're done with the selection, go to select and mask, and here we are going to be playing around with the settings. I'm just going to be smoothening the image, the outline, and I'm going to be shifting the shift edge to minus, and feather amount I'm going to be giving it 0.2. Press OK, and then press the mask button. I'm going to be shrinking the size by pressing shift and alt key. Now the next thing would be to color correct the turtle image. I'm actually trying to figure out where the shadows will go if the turtle is this big. So we are going to have to resize the image later, I think. Okay, I'm going to go to filter and camera raw filter, and I'm going to be increasing the temperature. I'm going to be lower in the greenish hue. I'm going to be lower in the greenish hue, and I'm just playing around with the settings here. Exposure, I've increased the exposure and decreased the shadow because I want to put my own shadow on the turtle later. So the next thing would be to go to adjustments and curves. I'm going to be decreasing the green. That would give it a warm look, And I'm gonna be decreasing the blue channel also. Increase the red channel. That alone has given the image a really good blend with the background. Now I'm gonna be giving it some shadow. I'm actually selecting the darkest area of the image. Instead of choosing full black, what I do is I select the darkest area in the image, and I put the shadows with that color. I'm using a soft brush here, nothing too fancy. I'm gonna be fast forward in this part. I'm playing with the opacity and I'm giving the shadow a little bit more of warmth color so that it blends with the image correctly. Now when you're done with the shadow image, I'm gonna be renaming them with shadow 1 and shadow 2. I've created a new layer and I'm gonna be putting some highlights. Again, I'm using a soft brush, nothing too fancy. I try to use the default brushes all the time, so that even you guys can follow along. I'm gonna be fast forward in this part. I realized that I put too much shadow on this, on the left side of the turtle, so I'm gonna be decreasing the opacity and I'm gonna be erasing some parts of the shadow. Just doing some final corrections to the shadows. Okay, now it's time to insert the shadow image on the hand that we are going to be creating with this silhouette image of the turtle. You can find this type of images just by a simple Google search. Okay, I'm gonna be selecting a dark spot from this picture and I'm gonna be painting it over the selection that I have made with the black silhouette. I renamed the layer shadow on hand and I'm gonna be keeping a copy of the shadow in case if I mess up. I can come back to that layer later on. I'm trying to resize it. Um, it took me a lot of time actually to figure out how the shadow is going to be on the hand if the sun's lights are coming from the right side. So this part is very long. Because legs the turtle's legs are open, wide open, we are going to have to make some adjustments. I'm using the lasso tool and just um, selecting this part, and by pressing Ctrl T and rotating it, we are going to be making this shadow blurry, so doesn't matter if it's not that fine. Okay, I'm gonna be making some adjustments to the shadow layer here. As I've said before, it took me a lot of time to figure out how the shadow is going to be on the hand, so this part is going to take a lot of time. I'm going to be fast forwarding this part. I'm putting the shadow layer blending mode to multiply, and I'm gonna be blurring it out by going for Gaussian blur. I'm selecting the hand here to make it as a mask for the shadow layer, so that the shadow layer only applies to the hand, if that makes sense. When you're done with the shadows, we are going to be putting some shadows on the hand. So I'm going to choose quick selection tool for this. There's actually easier way to select the subject. Just click this button right here. I forgot about that. And then I'm gonna be making a new layer, and select the darkest spot on the hand, and I'm gonna be painting over the image. The reason why I am putting shadows on the hand is because I put too much shadows on the turtle layer as well. I'm going to have to put some shadows on the hand to match it up. I'm gonna be doing some more corrections to the shadow layer here. So I'm gonna fast forward this part as well. Now the next step is to put some overhead lights. We're going to be creating a gradient here. We are going to make our own gradient by selecting a darker shade and a lighter shade of yellow so that we can use it as an overhead light. I'm going to be selecting screen here, and I'm going to be erasing some of the areas that I don't want the light to fall on. This is just to make the image a lot blending and to actually hide some of the flaws. Now we are pretty much done, but I'm gonna be putting some more turtles in the back and in the foreground to give the illusion of that there are a lot of turtles flying around. I'm gonna be making some changes to this turtle right here because not all the turtles are going to be same with the same posture and the sizes, and we can actually do anything we want with this turtle because we are going to blur it out later because it's going to be we are going to assume that it's away from the hand and it's out of focus from the camera. Just make some refinement. I'm going to do the same thing with the other turtles also, so I'm going to be fast forwarding it. Okay, now I'm going to export this image and I'm going to be bringing that image into a separate document, and I'm making some final changes here, increasing the clarity, and yeah, we're done. Thank you so much guys for watching the tutorial. Now if you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe and hit the like button, and also leave a comment. Tell me what I need to improve and also what you want me to make in the next tutorial. Alright, I'll see you all in the next tutorial, inshallah. Until then, salam.